I'm writing notes. I just got home and got cozy, and I was, I think, um, not I think, I was listening to something on the way home, and it sparked all of this. It was a very interesting night. It was a very quiet night. Um, Quiet week, really. It got a little intense last weekend, for me personally, but I don't know. It's the full moon is tonight, which we all act a little silly, but it was an interesting night. There was a whole lot of complaining going on, a lot of releasing, and I feel like that is my everyday anymore. Just witness to others not being able to keep or hold that space of beauty. And granted, I mean, I've got one friend who is tired. Yeah, she's tired. She's got a lot going on. Big things. Her sister had a stroke. She's 28. She had a stroke. Her niece, so her sister's daughter, had meningitis when she was 4, and she just had her foot amputated, and she's staying with her, my friend, and there's so much more to that story, but it's just like this pile of stuff, and I keep telling her that I think that it's her mountain to climb. We all have our mountains. And then I got to thinking, I had mine a couple years ago, and like 5 years ago now, but I was thinking when I was driving home that I wonder if I didn't have to go through that in that moment to recognize what I was recognizing tonight, and able to help those individuals that seem to be, I have my bad days, but I feel like I've done a pretty good job about keeping in good spirits, for sure, in good spirits. So, okay, let's go back. Lots of complaining. Let's see it all the time. It's really what did I think of? I feel there's like a real disconnect there with everything that's going on there. It's an awareness, but I'm disconnected from it. Reluctant to say, like, I don't allow it to affect me or touch me, or I don't know. Lots of complaining, and so many people, and I know I've talked about that before, everybody, 2020 is so hard, or we have it so bad right now, so tough right now, and I just don't see it. I don't see it. I see what is being dished out as hard or trouble, or I see the curating of that within people, but it's not that bad. It's not bad at all. We're so lucky, so blessed, so whatever. It's heavy. I don't mean it to be heavy. It's just because I'm working through it as I'm talking. I tried to write some notes, but it's it's not. I I'm sad. I'm It's easier than what it is being brought out. Okay, so I guess I'll go to my notes because I'm saying a lot. Okay, so one of the things was tight knit. So tight knit. I like to keep my circle small, and so for whatever reason that was for me or for you, I don't know. It was just coming through, and keep it small, keep it small, keep it tight. So I think that a lot has to do with, at least in that short amount of time that I was able to think about it, has to do with, you know, this awareness of, I like to use the word icky because it's something other than what I got going on, you know. There's so much of it, and we're all so susceptible to it, and I just want to keep my core small. I've always been that way, though. I've never really kept close friends. I've always been a loner. Prefer it that way. I thrive in that way most of the time. So, tight knit circle. Okay, the complaining, the attachment, it's weird. It's like all of the, not all, but such a large majority. It's like the spiritual people aren't even learning the spiritual shit that they're supposed to be learning, even though they think they're learning it, and they're complaining about the learning. They're complaining about the circumstances that they have gotten stuck in, but don't realize they've gotten stuck in it, and it's just this whole bunch of goop. And it's mucky, and I have no desire. It's so frustrating because it's so much easier. I see such beautiful things, and like, how do you betray you know, how do you get them out of the muck? You know, there's definitely going to be change. I think that's inevitable, and I don't know what the change is. It's silly to listen to anybody outside of yourself. It's just silly. It's silly and unproductive and not really beneficial, in my opinion, to humanity at large. It's just not. You've got all of these people who are clinging on to these other perception and beliefs, and these channelers, and this political figure, this idol, I mean, fuck. It's insane. And I lost my train of thought there, but it's like getting to a certain level and not being able to get further. It's like you're able to go. You're doing all the great things. You're feeling really confident. You're about to embark on this new adventure, but then suddenly something catches you up. You got caught by the ankle. And these people just can't get out of it. which, you know, then brings me into the change. There's going to be change. It's like everybody's going to take each other out because they're not able to, they're going to fucking go crazy. Crazier. And that saddens me because there's so much potential there's so much potential in each of us. So, I don't know. It really, I've never, ever, ever been that way. I've never relied so heavily on someone else that I didn't pay attention to myself. Even in high school, I was, you know, most people want to be in the cool crowd. I was in the cool crowd. I was with the pretty girls. And I just, the way that they treated a certain group of kids, children, I dipped out. It's a big moment in my life. It was a really beautiful moment looking back on it, but I've just never put that much stock. It's not that I don't listen to people. I listen to all the things. I like listening to, it's entertainment. It's entertainment. And there's just little bits of truth in all of the things. And so it's all beautiful. And if you're not responsible enough to kind of weed through that and come into your own power with whatever. And it bothers me that other people that are putting themselves out there are getting kind of whipped when it's not. And you know, there's more to that too, but people taking time to actually, I mean, people going out of their way, spending that amount of time, any amount of time, to spew anything but love to anybody else, I have no time for. I have no need for. And it is concerning to me, or bothersome or frustrating, that other people seem to care about that. And it might be because I've chosen to kind of go that lone path, but I don't need other people's input. If I do, if I think I require it, then I ask, and then I take it as much as I need to, right? I don't know. Short fuse, I guess, is what I'm getting at, maybe. Short fuse, little tolerance, and pretty hard pressed to find, I think I mentioned that before too, but pretty hard pressed to really kind of locate that soul tribe that I feel comfortable with or in tune with entirely. But entirely is silly because it's whatever, but accepting grace was another one. Maybe that is referring to the changes that are inevitable. It's so funny, everybody's so concerned with what they think is what's supposed to happen, or what they think is. It's like all of these narratives are being pushed in our direction to create something that is someone else wants to happen. And I personally want to sit back and chill. Like, just chill. It's not to say that it's not going to be hard. It's not easy being there for everybody, in my own shoes I'm talking about, but it's not easy being kind of like the whipping boy. But I feel like I have a place in this world to be such. to take that on in certain ways. People open up when you allow them to talk about stuff, and then you're able to reach them at a different level, a different chord plays. You're able to play different frequency with them. You know, I don't know if that makes... Oh. Okay, so follow through was my other note. I don't know what that pertains to. And then I already talked about the other than ourselves. It shouldn't be taken as solid truth, and I don't know, face value. It shouldn't. I can't, like, it bothers me to even have to say this because it is amazing to me. It is beyond my comprehension. So the cards that I was doing is why I'm laughing, because that phrase came up in my head and the cards came in my mind. But it is beyond my comprehension that people are not, humanity is not, or at least, I'm not saying everybody, but from what I'm witnessing in my own personal life, and then what is being distributed in social media, at least where I'm seeing, how anyone can perceive or feel that something is higher than us is something, and I don't mean that in a very like egotistical way. I don't mean it powerful. And I wrote a note here that we're like learning children, like little brats, just bitching and moaning about every fucking thing instead of trying to come up with a solution, cohesive, collective solutions. And it's not even that, but following through with those solutions. It's everybody. I've seen so many great ideas thrown about, and it's whatever. So whenever something breaks, I don't know why I thought of this. I think it was because someone that I have recently been introduced to, so very smart, very quick-witted, and I don't know how to describe what I see when I think of him, but I lost it. It's gone. Oh, it's gone. It's probably on purpose. Oh, okay, yeah. So many things being thrown at us. It's like we don't even have time, or we're not allowing ourselves to sit in a space and with others to think about all, at least as much as we can, all of the paths. And if we could just harness that collective brain, that collective energy, and use it to our benefit, and I mean humanity's benefit, and Gaia, Earth, whatever I want to call her, but I was getting at that there was all of these narratives being thrown at us. And so while I absolutely get excited, I absolutely, I ups and downs of emotions and things, there also comes a time where I allow myself to sit back and think about, okay, well, if I were a person wanting to do this, or if I were something that wanted to do that, or whatever, how would I go about that? I keep all day long, I kept getting, there's a bigger picture here, Sierra. There's a bigger picture here. There's a bigger picture here. I was at work, and I'm an admin with 40 different agents and a manager and corporate office. I have no space to think about stuff like that. But all day long throughout my work day, I kept getting, there's a bigger picture, there's a bigger picture, there's a bigger picture, which to me is indicating that I need to be looking for a different path that I haven't gone to yet, right? So there's a different situation, or haven't put those connections quite together yet where it is jiving with myself. So I'll be interested to see where that goes. But going back, the narratives, I get excited about certain stories, stuff that's put out, and I don't know, it's getting caught in the muck. It seems less and less people are able to hold space for unknown possibilities. And so I posted something on Twitter today that resembled that thought process, which was, I think it was multifaceted creation. I think that's what it was. And so even with whatever is perceived as dark, is creating what will be, or is like, so hard. I just talk into the air. I feel so silly. I don't know. I'm not sad. I think I'm lonely. I think I'm lonely because I just don't see or have been presented with persons that can, or at least show that they're able to that's not right. I feel like a warrior that's out on its own, doing its thing, and no one to bounce shit off of. But and I know it's going to be lonely, but I don't know, it just seems like less and less people are able to discuss such things because their mind is full of other things. And to each his own, because everybody's, doing their own thing and creating as we go. So I'm not like harboring any kind of ill will or sadness about it. It's just, I kind of want a crew. I want to hang out with people that don't complain and that don't take every shred of information and think that it's relevant or think that it's it brings up another thing. It's like everybody's waiting for this next big thing. It is it bothers me so much. It doesn't bother. I'm so over it. Like the word narrative. I'm so over it. Waiting for the next big thing. Tell me like 3 things that were big that happened in your life today. Like so frustrating. And I'm not trying to sound like I know or feel all of the things. I just know what I feel. And it's a lot of goodness, a lot of happiness, a lot of love. I mean, a lot of... I'm really hard pressed to find anybody, come in contact with someone and not just love them to pieces. I might lose my patience a little bit at work, but I have so much love. It probably would get me into trouble if we were able to like hug anymore. It'd probably get me into trouble because people would probably think I'm hitting on their husbands and shit. There's so much good in the world. There's so much good in the world, and we don't have it that bad. And the more we talk about keep having it bad, and it's just like we're making it worse and then worse and then worse and then enough already. That's another weird thing, is that the literal, like, aliens and how we are able to perceive them, or how we've been shown, they're presenting themselves in like all different directions, which is it's interesting because in my real life, in my everyday life, those things don't just happen. It's not an everyday occurrence. It's not even a monthly. It's not an occurrence. So, like when I'm opening my phone and I'm pulling up an app, there's something there. There was a YouTube thing that I just shared on Twitter, and it was talking about the aliens, which was interesting in itself, in 27 minutes, but interesting in itself because that I've never watched The Twilight Zone, but I've always said that any being that's trying to come through, or I've just never been comfortable with that personally. It's never where I've felt strongest. I've always felt going away from this planet. It makes me want to cry thinking about it. So I don't like people looking for another savior to take them away, and God knows what. Oh, so heavy. I don't mean for it to be heavy. I was just thinking on the way about how people have this attachment, and I'm sure as soon as I get off of this, I'm going to think of, oh my gosh, I should have said that because I have an attachment. I was just saying that I never, but anyway, it's almost the weekend, and that'll be great fun. Can you believe we're just almost done with January? Just almost done with January. So we're got February, which is second month, 2021. You're welcome. I know that you needed to hear that. It just seems like so much already. So much already. And I think we're going to need lots of naps. Lots of naps. And this reset, it's pretty kicking off, isn't it? Interesting. I just had someone text me about Bitcoin, so I think I'm going to end it. I wanted to do cards, but 27 minutes, 30 minutes in, I'm going to go to bed now. So, good night.